Welcome back to another video from the channel Manifest Bliss. Ever find yourself tossing and turning at night? Your mind racing and just unable to chill out? Carl Jung's psychology might just be the missing key to deeper, more restorative sleep. Drop a comment below. I connect with my unconscious to heal my sleep. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Manifest Bliss, hit that notification bell, and share this with someone who needs a serious sleep transformation. A lot of times, how well we sleep is totally linked to what we do and think before bed. In this video, we're diving into how Carl Jung's psychological insights can completely change the way you experience sleep by helping you tap into your unconscious for a deeper, more healing rest. If you're someone chasing more balance, calm, and truly recharging sleep, this is definitely for you. We're going to break down simple, powerful practices that, when added to your nighttime routine, can unlock the hidden potential of your mind for a deep inner transformation while you sleep. Ready to learn how to prep your mind for the kind of sleep that recharges both your body and your soul? Stick with me till the end. You're about to find out how Carl Gustav Jung was a Swiss psychiatrist and psychotherapist who completely redefined how we understand the human mind. Unlike Freud, who zeroed in on repressed desires and childhood trauma, Jung took it a step further by introducing the concept of the collective unconscious, a deep layer of the psyche filled with universal symbols, archetypes, and patterns that influence our dreams, behaviors, and emotions. He believed real healing came through reconnecting with our inner selves, a journey he called individuation, the process of integrating all parts of who we are, light and shadow, conscious and unconscious. But what's that got to do with your sleep? Everything. Jung believed that ignoring your inner life, your repressed emotions, forgotten dreams, and the quiet voice of your soul causes deep inner chaos. And this chaos often shows up right when you're trying to sleep, when the outside world goes quiet, but your inner world gets loud. Through Jung's lens, we learn that quality sleep isn't just physical, it's emotional and symbolic too. He teaches us to look inward before we close our eyes, and that changes everything. With that in mind, let's dig into how your unconscious mind plays a major role in your sleep. How can you reconnect with that hidden part of yourself to unlock truly restorative nights? Let's get into it. During sleep, especially in the deeper REM stages, your conscious mind steps back and your unconscious takes the wheel. That's when your soul starts speaking old memories, suppressed desires, and symbolic messages from the collective unconscious show up in your dreams. For Jung, dreams weren't just random images, they were coded messages from deep inside us. Your soul's way of guiding, healing, and realigning you. If you ignore these messages or bottle up your emotions all day, your unconscious gets no chance to speak out. That's when you get restless sleep, insomnia, or wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all. Your body might be still, but your mind is still battling something. Jung's message: don't run from that inner world, talk to it. Understanding your dreams, making peace with unresolved emotions, And paying attention to repeating symbols is the first step to healing. So yeah, sleep is way more than just biology. It's sacred space for reconnecting with who you were, who you are, and who you're becoming. The more present and intentional you are going into sleep, the deeper and more healing it becomes. Next up, we're gonna get into some Jung-inspired nighttime rituals to help get your mind and soul ready for this powerful nighttime. Journeyed up now that we know how important the unconscious is during sleep. It's time to make this process more intentional and transformative. Jung believed your mind doesn't shut off when you fall asleep. It just shifts frequency. So what you do before bed actually shapes your dreams and the quality of your rest. Bedtime prep isn't just turning off the lights or putting your phone away. It's a sacred ritual of coming home to yourself. First, there's inner dialogue, something Jung saw as super valuable. One way to do it, reflective journaling. A few minutes before bed, just write out whatever emotions bubbled up during the day. Don't worry if it doesn't make logical sense. This isn't for anyone else to read. The goal is to give your unconscious some space to show up. This quiets your conscious mind and makes room for deeper, symbolic dreams. Next up is active imagination, a technique Jung developed to interact with your inner images. Before bed, close your eyes and picture a symbol, something that represents peace, safety, or healing. Let it evolve. Give it shape, color, movement. This imaginative flow invites your unconscious to speak more clearly through your dreams. And finally, there's conscious intention. Before you fall asleep, repeat a simple phrase like, "I'm open to receive messages from my unconscious tonight." Say it like a mantra. This opens a spiritual and mental doorway for deep self-discovery. With these bedtime rituals, you're not just falling asleep, you're diving into yourself. And when you wake up, it won't just be your body that's rested. Your soul will have felt seen and healed by practicing the nighttime rituals that Jung proposed. Dreams stop being mere confusing fragments of the sleeping mind and begin to reveal themselves as profound symbolic messages. Jung saw dreams as the language of the unconscious, a bridge between what we don't yet understand about ourselves and the answers we're seeking. Every dream image, every scenario, every emotion felt within a dream holds clues about our fears, blockages, repressed desires, and unexplored potentials. The difference between having a dream and understanding a dream is the same as looking at a map and knowing how to read it. Jung proposed that we observe our dreams with curiosity and respect, as if we were standing before a personal oracle. The best way to begin this practice is by recording your dreams immediately upon waking. Keep a notebook by your bed and write down everything you can remember, even if it seems meaningless. Over time, patterns will emerge, recurring colors, returning figures, sensations that echo through the night's to interpret these dreams. Jung suggested the technique of symbolic amplification. For example, if you dream of an abandoned house, ask yourself, what does a house represent to me? What in me has been abandoned? A symbol doesn't have a single fixed meaning. it must be explored within your personal context. With symbolic, investigation reveals internal conflicts, traumas, or even hidden desires that are ready to surface and be healed. Another central element is the presence of the archetype. Dreams featuring figures like wise old men, threatening shadows, or innocent children may represent profound parts of your being. Jung called these archetypes universal patterns of the human psyche. Recognizing these archetypes in your dreams is like having a direct conversation with the collective unconscious, where the wisdom of all humanity is stored by understanding your dreams. You begin a process of inner integration. It's not just about decoding what happened the night before, but about transforming your life through nightly revelations. Sleep is no longer just rest. It becomes a journey of personal evolution. While the body rests, the mind embarks on a silent voyage, often imperceptible, but profoundly transformative. For Jung, the night was more than a time of rest. It was a sacred setting for a reunion with the soul. It's in the darkness, when noises cease and distractions vanish, that the unconscious can finally express itself clearly. Sleep isn't just about switching off the conscious mind. It's about making space for inner voices to speak, for forgotten parts of ourselves to return and reveal themselves. This nighttime journey acts like a natural therapeutic process. The unconscious, through dreams, fluctuating emotions, or even physical sensations upon waking, offers valuable clues about what needs attention. Often we wake up with a strange feeling, an unexpected idea, or even an inexplicable peace. This is not by chance. It's the result of the silent work of the mind during deep sleep. Jung called this process psychic self-regulation, an internal adjustment that happens without conscious effort, guided by the natural intelligence of the psyche. When we cultivate a routine that supports this journey through introspection, silence, and symbolic practices such as visualization or meditation before bed, we are, in fact, setting the stage for nighttime therapy led by the unconscious itself. In this sacred space, blockages are dissolved, traumas reorganized, and new insights gently emerge. The night becomes a mirror and sleep, a silent counselor, but it's essential to understand that sleep only becomes therapeutic when we respect it as such. If we fall asleep after a chaotic day, surrounded by stimulation, distractions, and tension, this journey may be interrupted or distorted. That's why preparation practices are so important. They are the key to accessing this natural and restorative therapy that happens as we sleep. In this sense, sleep is not an end, but a path, a living process of healing, discovery, and inner integration. When we begin to perceive the night with sacred and profound awareness, the simple act of sleeping takes on new value. It becomes a bridge between who you are today and who you are meant to become, as we realize that sleep can be a therapeutic journey. We make room to integrate nighttime rituals that truly prepare us for this inner crossing. Carl Jung valued symbols, archetypes, and rituals as bridges between the conscious and the unconscious. And that's exactly what a good nighttime ritual does. It pulls us away from the surface of the mind and gently leads us inward. It's a sacred transition, a symbolic disengagement from the external reality so the internal one can finally flourish. These rituals don't need to be complex. On the contrary, their power lies in repetition, intention, and the symbolism behind each gesture. One of the first steps is to create an environment that speaks to the unconscious. Softer lighting, calming music, natural aromas like lavender or sandalwood. All of these work directly on our senses, and the senses are the gateway to the unconscious. Jung stated that the psyche responds deeply to symbols, and a carefully prepared space communicates to the mind that it is time to quiet down and retreat. Turning off screens, avoiding negative content, and allowing moments of silence are simple, yet powerful ways to begin this transition. Next comes the symbolic ritual. This could be a deep breathing practice, where with each inhale you imagine light entering your body, and with each exhale you release thoughts, tensions, and inner noise. Or it could be a brief reflection journal, where you honestly write down something you're grateful for and something you wish to transform. Jung believed that giving symbolic form to feelings, whether by writing, drawing, or meditating, helped to integrate unconscious parts of the self. That's why these small acts carry immense power when done with intention. Another powerful practice is guided visualization with archetypes. Imagine, for example, visualizing a wise figure, a sage elder, a spiritual guide, a power animal approaching you and leading your mind to a safe place where you can rest, heal, and renew yourself. These archetypes speak directly to the unconscious, as they are universal images that have inhabited our inner world since the dawn of humanity. By bringing these figures into the moments before sleep, you are activating deep forces that cooperate with your transformation. Finally, close with a symbolic affirmation, something like, I surrender my mind to silence, my body to rest, and my soul to healing. Repeating this phrase with conscious breathing is like placing a key in the right door and slowly turning it until the portal of the unconscious opens. This symbolic language is far more effective than simple rational commands. It is heard by the soul, registered by the unconscious, and reverberates throughout sleep. Including these rituals in your nighttime routine is an acknowledgement that sleep is a sacred process. And when treated with such reverence, you don't just sleep better, you awaken better, more whole, more centered, more at peace with who you are. Because when the body rests, but the soul works in harmony, transformation becomes inevitable. The body rests, the mind remains active, and dreams are the language of the unconscious manifesting with all its symbolic power. Carl Jung dedicated much of his life to dream interpretation, affirming that dreams are authentic communications from the soul-coded messages that reveal hidden truths, repressed desires, and often creative solutions to dilemmas in waking life. Ignoring dreams, according to Jung, is like refusing valuable advice from the wisest part of ourselves. That's why learning to listen and understand what we dream can become a transformative And deeply healing practice. Dreams are not random. They are born from lived experiences, forgotten memories, inner tensions, and even intuitions not yet perceived by our conscious mind. Jung said that every dream has a compensatory function. It shows what is out of balance in our waking life. In other words, if you've been dreaming of mazes, escapes, or scenes of anxiety, perhaps you are ignoring emotional conflicts or situations that need to be faced. Meanwhile, dreams of flying, encounters, or natural landscapes may indicate expansion, liberation, and inner alignment. Observing these signs carefully can guide more conscious decisions aligned with your true self. To begin interpreting dreams, it is first necessary to remember them. One of the simplest and most effective methods is to keep a notebook beside your bed and write them down immediately upon waking before they slip away from memory. Even if they seem confusing or meaningless, jot down everything: characters, settings, emotions felt. Jung believed that every element in a dream is a part of ourselves manifesting. An enemy in a dream may represent a repressed aspect. An unfamiliar house may symbolize unexplored layers of our psyche. In addition, there are recurring dreams which carry important messages. When the unconscious repeats the same scenario or feeling night after night, it is crying out for attention. It's as if it's saying, here's something you need to see, understand, accept, or transform. Jung saw recurring dreams as calls for integration, parts of the soul asking to be heard, acknowledged, and healed. When we finally listen, these dreams tend to stop naturally, as if their symbolic mission has been accomplished. Another powerful key is to observe the archetypes present in dreams. Animals, mythical figures, shadows, spiritual guides. All of these carry universal meanings that transcend cultures and eras. They are expressions of the collective unconscious, one of Jung's most well-known theories. Recognizing an archetype in a dream is like opening the door to ancient wisdom that still lives within us. That's why studying these symbols, reflecting on their personal meaning, and relating them to your current life moment is a deeply therapeutic tool. By giving voice to your dreams, you begin to recognize that there is an inner wisdom that never sleeps. A part of you that watches, feels, analyzes, and tries to communicate something even while you rest. Jung said that dreams don't lie, and when you listen to them, you begin to make peace with your unconscious, bringing light to the shadows, integrating what was fragmented, and accessing dormant potential. Sleep then becomes more than just physical relief. It becomes a process of soul listening and revelation. The moment of awakening is just as sacred as falling asleep. For Carl Jung, the way we wake up can reveal the level of integration between our conscious and unconscious minds. If falling asleep with awareness aligns us with the soul, then waking up with purpose prepares us to live with authenticity. After a night of deep, transformative sleep, marked by revealing dreams and true relaxation, it is essential to take advantage of this state of openness to anchor intentions, reorganize the mind, and align with what truly matters. Conscious awakening is like being reborn. And Jung believed that every new day is another opportunity to become who we truly are. Instead of simply jumping out of bed on autopilot, wrapped in rush or anxiety, try opening your eyes slowly, feeling your body, noticing your breath, and acknowledging the miracle of being alive. That first moment of the morning is crucial to the quality of your day. If you wake up already immersed in worries, negative news, or overwhelming tasks, you lose the chance to consolidate everything processed during sleep. Jung said that the unconscious remains active even in the first minutes of the day. That's why a gentle transition is essential to integrate nighttime experiences into waking life. A powerful morning practice is to review your dreams as soon as you wake up. Ask yourself, what did I dream about? What emotions did I feel? Which image stood out the most? These questions are not mere curiosities. They are open doors to understanding internal messages that can guide your day. Often, a single dream symbol holds a teaching that can help you avoid mistakes, spark inspiration, or show you the way forward. Writing down your dreams right after waking becomes a ritual of listening and honoring your soul. Furthermore, Jung encourage setting conscious intentions as a way of aligning the ego with the self. In other words, instead of letting the day take control of you, you guide it with clarity. After a night of inner reconnection, take advantage of the calm state of mind to affirm, "Today I choose to act with presence," or "May I be guided by my inner wisdom." Simple phrases, yet full of meaning, help keep your mind aligned with what truly matters. When you plant these seeds in the morning, you reap more centered attitudes throughout the day. Another important point is taking care of your sensory environment upon waking. Harsh lights, phone notifications, or abrupt noises can suddenly interrupt the delicate process of reintegrating body and mind. Instead, try to start the day in silence with soft music or an inspiring reading. Jung spoke of the importance of symbolic rituals in modern life, and waking up can be one of those rituals. A brief yet sacred moment that marks the beginning of a new cycle. Spirituality doesn't require grand ceremonies. It manifests in the details of daily life. Lastly, remember that a conscious awakening is not just about the morning moment. It's about how you choose to live. It means taking responsibility for your own energy and deciding every single day that your life will be guided not by fear, but by inner wisdom. When you connect with what you dream, with what you feel, and with what you truly desire, you begin to live with more meaning. Jung believed the greatest goal in life was to become who you truly are. And that process begins every day. With the way you choose to awaken, we've reached the end of this deep dive into Carl Jung's psychology and the art of preparing for a truly restorative night of sleep. But more important than the knowledge you've just absorbed is the daily practice of that knowledge. Jung was not just a theorist. He believed real transformation happens when we bring symbols, archetypes, and unconscious processes into everyday action. And there is no more symbolic moment for this than the transition from day to night. Sleeping well isn't just about switching off from the external world. but about reconnecting to your inner world. The invitation now is this: transform your nighttime ritual into a moment of integration between your conscious mind and your unconscious. You can begin by creating a supportive environment. Avoid bright lights, turn off electronic devices, and if possible, take a warm bath to help your body relax. Then bring into awareness the elements we've explored here. Take a few minutes to meditate, journal the day's key events, and if you feel like it, write down a dream or strong emotion. This ritual doesn't need to be long. 5 to 10 minutes with true intention can deeply change the quality of your sleep and your awakening. You can also use archetypal phrases or affirmations that connect your ego to the self, the deepest part of your psyche. Something like, I allow my unconscious to guide me with wisdom as I sleep, or my soul finds rest and clarity through the night. By doing this, you are opening space for your unconscious to express itself in a more harmonious way, bringing revelations, emotional relief, and even symbolic healing during sleep. Jung saw the unconscious not as an enemy to be controlled, but as a partner to be understood. And in that mutual understanding lies the power of transformation. If you feel like you struggle with insomnia, racing thoughts, or restlessness at bedtime, this practice may be your turning point. Instead of fighting these symptoms, welcome them as messages that ask to be heard. Ask yourself, what within me still needs to be integrated? Which parts of my soul are asking for light? Jung teaches us that what we ignore in the unconscious returns as fate. But when we illuminate those parts with presence and compassion, we begin to dream with more clarity and live with more ease. And if this video made sense to you, remember, it's consistent practice that transforms knowledge into wisdom. Share this content with someone you love who also needs to find peace during the night. Write in the comments, I choose to reconnect with my soul every night, to affirm this commitment to yourself and your transformation journey. And of course, like this video, subscribe to the channel Manifest Bliss. Turn on the notification bell so you won't miss future content, and keep going on this path of self-knowledge and well-being. May your night be a sacred temple of reconnection. May your dreams reveal hidden paths. And may each awakening be the beginning of a life with more purpose, more awareness, and more soul. Jung left us a map. Now the journey is yours. Good night and sweet dreams. See you in the next video.